might benefit from several COVID vaccines.
The most widely used COVID-19 vaccines may offer a surprise benefit for some cancer patients, revving up their immune systems to help fight tumors. People with advanced lung or skin cancer who were taking certain immunotherapy drugs lived substantially longer if they also got a Pfizer or Moderna shot within 100 days of starting treatment. The molecule that powers those specific vaccines, mRNA, appears to help the immune system respond better to cutting-edge cancer treatments. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
President Trump is imposing sanctions on Russia's two biggest oil companies and the billions of dollars they reap for Moscow's war against Ukraine. The European Union also ratcheting up its pressure on Moscow, adding more sanctions and phasing out natural gas imports. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Some big changes in store for the New York Giants.
National Football League owners voted to approve the sale of 10% of the New York Giants to Julia Koch and her family. The Koch family acquired a minority non-controlling interest that will further support the growth of the organization, deepen its community impact, and embrace future opportunities. The Mara and Tisch families remain the controlling owners, with the organization saying its leadership structure is unchanged.
That is Bill Alexander reporting. Existing home sales surged last month as declining mortgage rates and a pickup in available properties on the market encouraged home shoppers. The National Association of Realtors says used home sales rose by 1.5% compared to the month of August to a seasonally adjusted annual rate of just over 4 million houses. That is the fastest sales pace seen since February of this year. You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Number one for live and local
conservative talk.
I've been a registered Democrat for 28 years. I'm really glad you're talking about this.
You gotta love these idiots out here. They think we're all stupid, I guess.
News, analysis, opinion.
Totally agree on that.
I disagree with you.
It's over.
Very upset.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you very much for taking my call.
Wanted to ask you really quick, is there room on the bandwagon for me?
101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com. Number one for live and local
Conservative talk.
You can take these facts.
I know for a fact.
It's just about time. It's not now. When?
Oh, there's just so much to say and not enough time to say it or do it.
I'm sorry. This is our country. This is the country that you and I love.
I'm kind of not surprised.
Man, that's what they need.
Very upset.
A lot of fear.
I agree with that. And well, who couldn't agree with it? It's a fact.
101.9 and 94.1
St. Louis is number one for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Will prevail.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
It's another one of those days with brilliant blue skies, nice dry air, in fact, very dry air, dew points in the low 30s today, and a high temperature in the mid 60s. The winds have lightened up a little bit too, which is nice. They're out of the northeast at maybe 5 to 10 miles per hour. We've got some frost again tomorrow morning. It'll be patchy in the metro area, but high temperatures again in the 60s on Friday, but becoming cloudy with a few sprinkles possible during the afternoon and evening. I'm KMOB First Alert meteorologist Kent Earhart.
Because truth matters.
Let's speak that truth.
Because understanding matters.
Let's break this down.
With all that's happening.
And it's happening a lot faster.
What matters most is...
The only question that matters here.
Are you informed?
Important issues that are facing this country.
Depend on us.
The latest events.
The information you need.
Here are the facts.
When you need it.
We always have great conversations.
You guys have a great radio station.
101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. This hour of Colombo Company brought to you by Gutter Pros. Water goes where we tell it. Call 314-656-7195 or visit them at gutterpros.com. When it's important to you.
What St. Louis is talking about.
It's on News Talk STL.
This is not how you run a country.
That's only because of the Democrats.
Because the Democrats won't do the right thing.
This relates to the well-being and the health of the American people.
News, analysis, opinion.
A gunman opened fire on the church in Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Suspect identifies as a combat veteran. This is highly premeditated from what we're seeing at this time.
101.9 and 94.1.
My talk station.
News Talk STL.
cage, your better best to rearrange. I'm talking here to me alone. I listen to the finest work song, your finest hour, your finest hour.
Hello and welcome to Thursday afternoon on Colombo and Company here on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. I am Tony Colombo in studio with producer Ashlyn, and we will get you the latest on the government shutdown today. We will get you the latest on some local and statewide issues when we talk to Missouri State Representative Justin Sparks here in a little less than 10 minutes. He is our first guest this afternoon. Also going to get into some other of the national and international headlines, including the latest, the Democrats versus ICE. Just a really, I don't even know the word for it, disturbing story out of Los Angeles, where this group that is opposing the ICE agents that are there to enforce immigration law being threatened publicly at a press conference. The line, "You're not the only ones with guns," was used. I mean, this is just getting crazy. We'll get into that as we go through the afternoon. Also, this is a good one. We've talked recently a lot about AOC possibly running for Senate, primarying Chuck Schumer in New York. Well, following in those footsteps, the latest Democrat to threaten a Senate primary bid against her own party, Jasmine Crockett, angry about the redistricting in Texas and using her own math, because the real math does not support her in any way. But using her own math, lays out a path to taking one of the Senate seats out of Texas. A Democrat hasn't had a Senate seat in Texas for over 30 years, and I'm not sure Jasmine Crockett is the candidate that's going to break that tradition, but she thinks she is. So that'll be a fun one. Not only, I mentioned we're going to talk about the shutdown and get you the latest there. Not only are the Democrats and Republicans no closer on a shutdown, they are not even able to come to an agreement on paying the troops while the government is shut down. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. That same issue rolled into today, and there was a vote, and once again, Democrats not just obstructing the CR that would keep the government open, or would reopen the government at this point, I should say. They're obstructing this bill, which would just pay the troops and some other federal employees while the shutdown continues. So they are unwilling to have a conversation or agree with the Republicans, vote with on literally anything, let alone the actual issue, which is the government shutdown. So we'll get you all the latest details there as well. And the conversation about the reconstruction, the are, your plans, focuses for the next session? I was in that conversation yesterday with Rodney Boyd. I always, before I talk to you guys, I'll always do in my show prep, I'll search up, Missouri news, Missouri politics, things like that. And tons of stories coming up, all addressing, the some of the issues that we've talked about forever: personal property tax, Second Amendment rights, education funding, things like that. I'm sure there's plenty to talk about in that regard. But let's start with there's pushback now regarding what you guys have done with the redistricting, the new map that's been drawn in the state of Missouri. Do you expect this resistance and this group that is trying to get a petition together to possibly put this on the ballot? Do you expect this? I mean, we always expect a challenge, especially in today's, seems like every bill written at the state level or the federal level, there's always somebody suing it. So that's not a surprise. But do you expect this to have, do you expect this to gain any momentum and become a serious challenge to what was decided this summer by you guys in the special session?
Yeah, of course I do. The challenge will be significant. It will be well funded. We're already seeing huge amounts of money pour in. Of course, not from Missouri, because that's how it always works. But we're looking at a bigger picture existential battle for the future of the country, and Missouri just happens to be right in the middle of it. You're going to see these battles now play out all across the nation, and Missouri is no different. So what we have is an ideologically opposed group. This would be your fringe left. This would be your leftist who, in Missouri, see that, we can't win in the battlefield of ideas. We're out of ideas. We can't win at the ballot box. The people have woken up. The people they're on to us. They've seen the crazy, lefty, wildly stupid policies of letting your children cut off their genitals, or other policies like letting just unfettered immigration illegally across the southern border, which has allowed terrorists and just random complete criminals to flood into our country. And we're seeing the ramifications of that almost on a daily basis now, whether it's illegal immigrants that are under the influence of illicit drugs, crashing through cars on dash cams, killing families. Like, you can't even believe the stuff that's happening. And yet this was all preventable. This is all a tragedy because it was preventable. This isn't random. It isn't just like, oh, darn it, more crimes happening. Oh, a police officer loses his life from an illegal immigrant in the city of St. Louis last year. No, preventable. This person should have never been here in the first place. But this is what we're dealing with. And because the left believes the ends justify the means, they will stop at nothing. And that is exactly what we're seeing. It's very concerning. And so what we're trying to do now is to articulate why the redistricting effort is 100% constitutional, both statutory and constitutionally. And yet the left doesn't like the fact that Missouri has Republicans that are in charge, guys. This is how our constitutional republic works. That the people have voted us in. We are doing what the people have asked us to do. You just don't like it. So we're going to try to subvert the entire system in any way that we can and tear it all down. They're finally, Tony, into the open. They're saying the quiet part out loud. They're using the words. They're using the words of revolution. They're using the words of the cultural Marxists now. They want to tear down this country violently if necessary, and they are openly saying it. We've got actors in Hollywood saying that Donald Trump is a clear and present danger to the country, to our democracy. This stuff is insane, and it will lead to violence. Mark my words.
So with that all in mind, that what was done was completely constitutional, completely legal, completely within the purview of the Missouri legislature, and this map's been put in place. And on top of all of those things, I think it is something that is supported by the vast majority of Missouri voters. So not only is it legal, but it's also, I think, popular. With all that in mind, money and influence and creative ballad language and things like that can, very often still create a problem. I mean, just look at Amendment 3 as Exhibit 1 in that regard. So with all those things in mind, do you foresee, like, what can happen? Like, if this group is successful with this ballot and they get something, or with their petitions and they get something on the ballot, even though it was done legally and constitutionally and by the overwhelming majority of the legislative body, can all that be undone if they are successful in the end with this mission?
Okay, that's a great question. And the short answer is it will be decided in the courts.
Yeah.
It will be a federal constitutional challenge because the Constitution gives the clear purview of redistricting to the state legislatures. Okay, so this is not in doubt. This is as black and white as you can get it. It's literally the letter of the law, says that the state legislatures have the purview to redistrict. And so what you're seeing now, though, is trying to split the difference in terms of, maybe we'll do initiative petition to say that a nonpartisan commission should be in charge of working with the legislature. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to stretch that interpretation as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I do not anticipate that being successful. I think it's very clear. Here's the problem. Even though it seems obvious and it seems as clearly written in our Constitution as possible, you can never just count on the courts to get it right 100% of the time. And the reason we know that is what we're seeing now in the judiciary, the judicial branch. Remember, we're going back to civics now. One of my sons is learning this right now in school, right? The judicial branch, the executive branch, and the legislative branch. What we're seeing in the judiciary are activist judges based on sometimes who nominated them, right? Not always, but sometimes, in which they're taking very activist roles. Remember, the ideology that drives the left, even though in the judiciary there should be no left or right, because Lady Justice is blind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what we're seeing is the ends justify the means. So what we're seeing is like a Supreme Court justice like Ketanji Brown Jackson, where she says things like, black people are just disabled. Or she's saying, I don't know what a woman is because I'm not a biologist. Or, right, because what she's trying to do is get to a political conclusion based on how she feels and what she wants to support. That's not the role of the judiciary, and yet that's what we're seeing. The long story short is this. We can't rely on the judiciary to be completely get it right 100% of the time. And we have to understand that sometimes politics 100% has been creeping in and affecting some of these decisions, including, if you remember, Amendment 3, the original Amendment 3, the unrestricted abortion and transgender surgery for kids going on the ballot. Remember, our own state Supreme Court violated our Missouri statute, violated the law and their own judicial precedent, meaning their own decisions that they had already set as precedent. They violated both those things in order to allow that original Amendment 3 on the ballot in the first place. That is a perfect, very recent illustration of the judiciary basically bowing to the pressure of the radical left because they are afraid. Ultimately, it's fear-based behavior. And that very much is a real thing. You have to remember, judges are people. And, there's a lot of violence right now. People have been assassinated in our country. And, for heaven's sakes, Judge Kavanaugh's family was put into jeopardy. This is happening. This is real. And unfortunately, so it's possible. But ultimately, Tony, we're going to be successful, I believe. And it's not even going to be close.
And I think that is why these conversations are so critical, and why I appreciate having you on, and being able to talk to folks like you and Senator Schroer and Rodney Boyd, and really get the information, the truth out about the details that are happening with these various local issues. Because like you said, I think Amendment 3 is such a perfect example of not only what you just illustrated, but also how ballot language and a lot of money for ads can mislead people into voting for something that they didn't even realize they were voting for. So that's why I think these conversations are so important. And you just also touched another nerve for me there. We're talking to Missouri State Representative Justin Sparks, who also longtime police officer, long career in law enforcement before joining the political game. I'm not sure that you don't regret that decision sometimes, but you mentioned the violence and the rhetoric that's been taken up, to such a high level by folks on the left. I was going to talk about this later on the show, but since you brought it up, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. This is a perfect example of that. I don't know if you saw this story. Los Angeles teacher says ICE agents are not the only ones with guns following the shooting of a federal agent. So this came after a U.S. Marshal and an illegal immigrant were shot during a ICE enforcement operation. The original suspect in the matter rammed his vehicle into federal agents before shots started to be fired. Federal prosecutors said that the suspect used a Toyota Camry to strike law enforcement vehicles in front and behind him. So back and forth, attempting to kill, attack these federal agents. Then there was gunfire, and both the suspect and a federal agent were shot. Apparently, the reports are both of them were shot by federal agents. So the one was friendly fire, according to the reports I've seen. But anyway, all of that aside, and since then, there's been obviously a lot of political statements being made. And this Los Angeles high school teacher, who also serves as a spokesperson for a local anti-ICE activist group, spoke to the media this week. And the story says appeared to welcome armed resistance. He didn't appear to. He absolutely did welcome armed resistance. This guy, Ron Gochez, a teacher at a local community high school and a spokesperson for Union del Barrio, that the anti-ICE group, said, quote, "Don't forget where you're standing. This is South Central Los Angeles. They, ICE, are not the only ones with guns in this city. Don't forget that. And I don't say that because I'm calling for violence. Yes, you are. I'm saying that because the people have every right to defend themselves against masked, unidentified gunmen." That's his characterization of police officers, of law enforcement officers. The final part of his statement, quote, "The people have every right to defend themselves. That's not violent. That's intelligent." I mean, it's exactly what you just said, Justin. Yeah. I mean, they are taking it to that level of violence.
They are.
Your thoughts?
And Tony, first of all, this person is a couple different things about this story, because I did see this story. A couple different things. Number one, great indication, unfortunately, sad indication of where our teachers are in this country, because how many teachers have we seen saying and doing incredibly asinine words and deeds and actions, including the one that was at the No Kings protest, making the gesture to her neck about the Charlie Kirk assassination. That's a whole, but yet another,
so disgusting.
Yet another public school teacher, right? We're seeing this constantly. How many of them, even in Missouri, have been relieved of their job because of the reaction to Charlie Kirk's assassination, because of the insane things they let outside of their mouth. But put that on the back burner, okay? So we have a teacher that's saying and inciting violence, right? So we have the First Amendment in this country, but remember, when this person says something like they have guns too and they should defend themselves against masked gunmen, first of all, citizens have a right to defend themselves against masked gunmen. That's number one, not illegal aliens. Yeah. And number two, you absolutely do not have the right to defend yourself against the lawful actions of the government. That's called law and order. And so on both counts, this person is stupid and this person should be arrested. So there should be an investigation, and there may be, that we're just not aware of. There should be an investigation opened into this person, because obviously this person's already on camera inciting violence And this person should be arrested. And Tony, this is what is going to happen, in my opinion. The only thing that we are on a road, and I've talked about this many times, we are on a road, and unless we have a miracle from the Lord, when we can divert from this path, here's where we're going. We're going to the Insurrection Act. We're going to the declaration of martial law, at least in some kind of limited capacity, in my opinion now. Because when you have people espousing and advocating violence, like we saw this person, it actually leads to real violence, okay? Yeah. It actually will lead to ICE agents or police officers being targeted, which they already are. And we simply have to draw a line in this country, and you actually have to rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak, and you have to start arresting these folks. And it is going to be uncomfortable. It is going to get worse before it gets better. And there will be a backlash to it, but it is the only thing that's necessary in order to preserve the republic. We have not been in this place in our country since Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War. And what did he have to do? He was accused of the same thing Donald Trump's being accused of right now, of being a tyrant, of suspending habeas corpus, and suspending constitutional rights of folks. Yes, he did in fact do those things. In order, why? To preserve the constitutional republic. We are quickly approaching that threshold again. And if we don't do what is necessary, we won't have a country to give our children. That's where we're headed.
I think I think you're exactly right. And I think it's because that is the path that the extreme left wants to be on. That's what they are pushing for. And if we don't do something about it, if we don't stand up and say enough's enough, which has started to happen, but obviously, you know, this is still this thought process is alive and well in very many places across the country. That's the path that they want. They want that violent insurrection. I mean, how else can you interpret, you know, you're not the only ones with guns, and
yes.
we have a right to defend ourselves against masked unidentified gunmen, although those unidentified gunmen are wearing, you know, police uniforms, which is just absolutely insane. Justin, we kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent there. Only a couple minutes left talking to Missouri State Representative Justin Sparks. So we'll dig into some of the state issues next time we talk to you next week. But real quick, if you could just give us the Cliff Notes version of, you know, the things that you are looking into, focused on as we get closer and closer to the next legislative session.
Well, we're talking about making our state safe again, secure again. We're talking about making sure our elections are secure. We're talking about banning Sharia law so that what is going on in Texas doesn't happen in Missouri. We're talking about these things because they are a clear and present danger to our way of life. We have to understand and start articulating what's important to our constituents and actually putting that into law, putting the safeguards and making sure our communities are safe, making sure our culture and our community is what we can pass on to our children. And so that's in the Freedom Caucus. That's what we've talked about. We've put out the Fantastic Five, the priorities of that our constituents have told us are their number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 priorities. And that's exactly what we plan on getting done.
Great stuff. Missouri State Representative Justin Sparks, thanks as always for your time, my friend, and we will talk to you again very soon. Have a great rest of your day.
God bless you, Tony.
I got you, buddy. Thank you. All right, we are going to continue the conversation. Our friend Virginia Kruta from the Daily Wire joins us in the 3 o'clock hour, and we are going to get you the latest on the government shutdown when we talk to Dr. Randy Tobler next here on Colombo and Company.
For podcast articles and more, find us on newstalkstl.com.
On the next
Larry Connors, USA.
Trump says there's no reason to meet with Putin at this point because if nothing is going to be accomplished, it'd be a waste of time.
Larry Connors, USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Hungry for the best steak you'll ever have? Head to the heart of Moscow Mills and discover Harry J's, a local landmark and family-owned steakhouse, serving up excellence since '98. From mouth-watering appetizers to decadent desserts, Harry J's has something for everyone. Enjoy our extensive bar selection while soaking in our friendly family atmosphere. Whether dine in or carry out, your meal is prepared to perfection. Make the drive to 300 Main Street and treat yourself to a taste of Moscow Mill's finest. Harry J's, more than a steakhouse. We're a tradition.
Jamie Allman here for O'Fallon Family Floors. Experience the passion. Oh, yeah. You can go in and see the best variety, the best pricing, the best quality, the best personalized service right there off of Highway K in O'Fallon, or you can have the store come to you. Oh, yeah. Brian and his team take great pride in running a fantastic flooring outlet, and you can get their 5-star ratings right there on Google. Just check it out. It's O'Fallon Family Floors, O'FallonFamilyFloors.com.
Hi, I'm Jen Wallner.
And I'm Rodney Wallner with the Wallner Home Selling Team at Berkshire Hathaway.
Hey, Rodney, how do you sell your home for top dollar?
That's easy. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
What if I want a flexible commission rate?
Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
When's the best time to sell your home?
Right now. Call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
For all your real estate needs, call the Wallner Home Selling Team at 314-810-SOLD.
That's 314-810-SOLD.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on Newstalk STL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
This hour of Colombo Company brought to you by Gutter Pros. Water goes where we tell it. Call 314-656-7195 or visit them at gutterpros.com.
Yeah, everybody hurt sometimes. I know that's what they say.
Welcome back to Colombo and Company on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Thanks to Justin Sparks, Missouri State Representative, for joining us in that last segment. Now we continue the conversation with Dr. Randy Tobler from The Randy Tobler Show, which you can hear every Saturday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. here on News Talk STL. Doc, the government may be closed, but we're not closed here, even on Saturday mornings at News Talk STL. Thanks for your time, as always, buddy. How are you?
Always wild and woolly. It's always it's like a box of chocolates on Saturday morning. You never know what we're going to get from me and Jerome.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah.
And isn't it funny how the rest of the economy goes on and chugs along just fine?
Yeah.
And those people maybe have thrown their lot with government subsidies or in one way or another, contracts or whatever, they begin to say, it works out well, sort of like Amazon Web Services. It makes good when I put all of my eggs in one basket, but maybe not so. So maybe I should think less about having dependence on the government. I wonder if people are beginning to get that message.
Yeah, it's a really great point. And I talked to our old friend Paul Kurtman, former Missouri State rep, who I know you've talked to many times, a former show host here. He's with me every Monday, and he works in the financial sector now at PR Kurtman Investments. And every Monday, for the last 3 weeks, I ask him, if the government shutdown is impacting the markets, is there starting to be a negative influence? And I keep waiting for the day that he says, okay, look, it's dragged on long enough that it's starting to, but so far the answer is no, that life goes on. And people are, the markets have not been negatively impacted in a large way by the shutdown, and maybe that will change as if it continues to drag on. But it's definitely starting to become more impactful than it was at the beginning. But it's not the like the country killing nuclear option that some people in politics would have you believe, this is like, well, we can never let this happen. The reality is it doesn't seem to hold that much that much power. Maybe it will start to if it drags on even longer. But so far, that impact has not really been there, has it, Doc?
No, you're so right. And boy, I know that the SNAP benefits are going to run out for 650,000 people in Missouri and 7 or 8 million, in the United States. And I vacillate on that, but I hope that someone, maybe in the faith community, if those people are going to church, or maybe someone can talk to them about, wouldn't it be nice if, the people around you and the people going to church and your family and maybe that aren't as down and out as you are right now and needing SNAP, wouldn't it be nice if they kept some of their money and it didn't go to Washington, D.C. up there in that big, ugly Virginia? And, oh, my goodness. And they kept their money here, and then they could help you when you needed a little help. I know that sounds like I should, probably put on the rose-colored glasses, but this is the opportunity to have those discussions.
Yeah.
That kind of charity, that kind of help, along with the sort of, sometimes the message that comes along with it from people close to you that love you is often different and more needed maybe than you want to know and want to hear, but it's needed. Especially if you're a person, maybe a guy living with a gal and she's getting SNAP benefits and you're not working, you're playing video games. We've heard about those folks getting Medicaid. Maybe it would be a good stern message to them to say, you know what, we'll help you out for a limited amount of time. Get off your butt, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, start working. And, the next time you run across rough waters, maybe we'll talk to you then. But I don't know, maybe I think that happened in a time gone past. And I don't know if we're now, when one way or another, we look at government to solve every one of our problems, and it becomes too easy to continue to have those problems.
Well, when you come off of many years of, during the Obama administration, during the Biden administration, where, not only were those programs, so prevalent, but they were literally selling them to the American people, actively looking to get people on food stamps and things like that, and benefiting the people that worked for the government that got more and more people in those programs, like getting, a commission on a sale if you could get more people on food stamps. I mean, so once you get that many people addicted to government funding, which was very much on purpose, because the Democrats know that if they can get millions of people addicted to that government money, those are Democratic voters, because people aren't going to want to let that go. So that's a tough thing to come back from and turn around from. But I agree with you that maybe this is the best time that we've maybe ever had in recent history to actually address some of these issues. Also, I wanted to talk about, I mentioned this at the beginning and talked a little bit about this yesterday, but the vote went down about Republicans. They put forth this bill that would just pay the military and some active government workers while the government shutdown continued. So a vote on, not even on the continuing resolution, not even on opening the government, just a separate piece of legislation that says, hey, look, why don't we at least pay the military while this is happening? And the Democrats obstructed that as well. So they, not only are we not getting, at least from what I'm seeing, not getting any closer to the two sides negotiating or coming to an end to this bill. They can't talk about, they can't make any ground on the government shutdown. They can't even make any ground on a separate bill just to pay the military in the meantime. So the way I look at this, Doc, is that we are no closer 3 weeks in than we were on day one. So this could drag on for quite some time. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you. And I think that the Democrats have made the calculus, and they must have some internal polling somewhere that tells them that they are winning this shutdown game of who blinks first, right? And I don't know where it's going to end. I think, though, they do begin to gain an advantage as more and more of these welfare programs and the media, a bleeding heart, violins playing at full volume, stories come out about women that can't feed their children, and the deserts, the food insecurity. You'll hear more and more of that. And how you fight that, I don't know, because the American people have become lulled into a sense of complacency. And it's a lot of virtue signaling too. I mean, my gosh, the kind of things we're saying, asking people on welfare to go back to work. Remember how that battle was so hard fought during the big, beautiful budget? There used to be no argument about that. Everyone in America, if you asked them, if an able-bodied person can work and isn't, and there are jobs out there, should they be getting welfare? The absolute immediate answer would be no. And now it's like, well, these people are on these programs and you're going to take it away from them. I mean, it's so insulting to those people on the one hand, but in a sinister way, so effective politically.
Yeah.
It's very frightening. Very frightening.
Yeah, it is. You nailed it. And even to take it a step further from that, not only is it unfortunately very effective politically, but the long-term consequences, if you're truly, if you're a Democrat in Congress or Senate or whatever, and if you're truly your goal is to make the country stronger and and viable to last for eternity, generations to come, this is not a way to do that. To encourage more and more people to just not work and be on the government dole, and to it's okay if you don't want to work, it's okay if you don't want to try really hard, we've got you covered. Like, the less people working, less innovation, more government expense. In the long, it's politically effective, like you said right now, but it is not the way to sustain a country for the long run. So, and I know they don't care about that, but they should, because I want this to be, I want the United States to remain the greatest nation on earth for my grandkids and my great grandkids. And you go down that path, that's not going to be the case.
If you got a minute, I got to tell you this story.
Please.
Along this same line, the Republicans also have an opportunity now to take this healthcare, being the healthcare subsidies, and what the Democrats admit is like, we just want to continue subsidizing and throw money against a system that we admit is a broken system. I mean, how absurd. Okay, they need to take this moment with that healthcare now bubbling to the top of not near the top of the pile on issues, and say, look, I just had a guy in my office, used to work for a big insurer, who all of us would be sticking pins in their voodoo needle in their voodoo doll right now, right? That insurance company, and they're all the same way. But he says, when they were nonprofit, this big insurance company, we had a great product called Major Medical for Young People. It was about $60 a month, $75 a month. And this was no more than a couple decades ago before they went profit. And it provided the insurance that young people needed, was for the kind of stuff that young people needed, not for colon cancer and not for, advanced disease, cardiovascular disease. We need to reimagine healthcare. Right now, we need to say, look, why is Tony Colombo paying the same premium through his employer? Not that I know that, but just as an example, most employer group insurance, you pay the same premium, whether you're 25 and healthy or whether you're 65 and sick as a dog. Why don't we make people, let's make it affordable for young people in America that can't even afford to buy a house or pay for the food right now. And they would still have major medical insurance. And then they could go out and pay for their poison ivy prescription or their sinus infection, go bargain with the doctor, talk to the pharmacist. I'm telling you, Tony, and then as you grow older, you pay a little more for your insurance, just like you do for life insurance, because you have more means then, because you haven't been stolen from in your young days and you've been able to build a life. There is so much rich discussion that we should be having about healthcare now. And sadly, I mean, no one's talking about it. I hope the Republicans seize the moment and start laying out some common sense policies that would maintain coverage for people that was meaningful, accessible coverage that would save everyone money, taxpayers and the premium payers, including Obamacare people, and their service would be better too. We need to have that discussion.
I think
yesterday.
that is such great insight, and I think just a really excellent point. And it kind of goes along, I've mentioned this multiple times, the Democrats' behavior and their obstruction for this has made them look so bad that he's even made the Republicans' position look actually better than it is, because like you mentioned all those things, I wish the Republicans would take advantage of this time to have that discussion, but I don't have any confidence that they will, because the truth is the Republicans are very lazy on this issue too. A CR, just a continuing resolution, is not great. It's just lazily kicking the can down the road. They look like they look a lot better because the Democrats are so ridiculous in their obstruction to this, but there's no sign from the Republicans that they're actually working on any of these big issues either when it comes to, this conversation, the budget and the government shutdown. They were just kicking the can down the road. So, they're on the, their position is much easier to defend, and the Democrats, just ridiculous obstruction has made it look, has made the Republican position, I think, look better than it truly is. So, unfortunately, I don't have any confidence that we are going to have that conversation, but maybe we should start forcing it, Doc.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I really do. Look, I don't know. There's just a lot to be said. I'm just deathly afraid that the war of emotions is going to at one point win out here, and that's what scares the heck out of me, because the American electorate is a pretty emotional one, and they're not as engaged as we'd like many of them to be.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Doc, we have a little less than 2 minutes left, so real quick, talking to Dr. Randy Tolver, I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on this. Hakeem Jeffries said yesterday during his daily now government shutdown press briefing, he addressed the ICE issues across the country, and he made the claim that Americans are turning on Donald Trump and the Republicans and no longer support the border policies that have been implemented. I've seen absolutely no sign of that. Is Hakeem Jeffries just absolutely making things up when he makes that statement, in your opinion?
Oh, of course, he's making so much up now. I mean, he's fencing someone that doesn't exist, right? I mean, he's like Cyrano de Bergerac. It's like, you're way up there, I'm way down here. He's like Joe Biden shaking hands with someone that isn't there. He's flailing, just looking for any issue. And I guess he figures, if you tell a lie long enough, the people will believe it.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
Yeah, I had to reread the quote like 2 times to make sure that I understood what he was saying. That he said, Americans are turning on Donald Trump. They have turned on Donald Trump and no longer support, which has been one of his 80-20, maybe 90-10 issues, since he took office, cleaning up the border. So. Yeah, just pulling that, just trying to pull facts out of thin air. Definitely the normal move now these days from the Dems. Doc, thank you so much.
They lost that issue, so they have to go crazy.
Absolutely.
And tell lies.
Dr. Randy Tobler, every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. here on News Talk STL throughout the state of Missouri, every weekday morning with Wake Up Missouri. Doc, as always, thanks for your time. Talk to you again soon.
Enjoyed it. Thanks.
You bet. All right, the latest on the Dems crash out about the White House ballroom with Virginia Kruta next.
Public schools, like public libraries, should be free and open to all. Open enrollment allows parents to choose the school that's the best fit for their children. Maybe another school has a wider curriculum, is bigger or smaller. Maybe a kid is being bullied and would be more comfortable at another school. 75% of parents favor open enrollment. Open enrollment programs now exist in 43 states, and Missouri should join them. Our next-door neighbor, Kansas, has one of the strongest open enrollment policies in the nation. Kansas parents are trusted with choices and options, while Missouri parents must move out of their home to change public schools. And it's a trend. Nationwide, the percentage of students going to their chosen public school has steadily increased. Assigning kids to schools based on their zip code is the old way. Open enrollment is a better way. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Listen up. The offer St. Louis can't stop talking about being held over by popular demand. Right now, Renewal by Anderson. Buy any window or door, get the next one 50% off. Plus, you might get 0 interest, no payments for 18 months. This is Renewal by Anderson, the full-service window and door replacement division of Anderson. That's a name you've trusted more than 122 years. Our exclusive FiberX frames, 200% stronger than vinyl. And remember, Anderson products increase your home's value by at least 15%. So make sure you take advantage of the offer while it's still being held over. Schedule your complimentary consultation at rbastl.com. 877-WINDOWS. 877-WINDOWS. Renewal by Anderson. This is award-winning quality, stronger windows, smarter investment.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Democrats have rejected a Republican proposal to pay essential workers despite the ongoing shutdown. Democrats in the Senate still demanding $1.5 trillion in new spending. They'll say they'll keep the government shut down and say they will not support paying those essential workers, calling the Republican proposals inadequate. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the shutdown is starting to impact air traffic control.
And so if you have a controller that's working 6 days a week, but has to think about how am I going to pay the mortgage, how am I going to make the car payment, how am I going to put food on my kid's table, they have to make choices. And the choices they're making is to take a second job.
Republicans calling on Democrats to drop their demand for $1.5 trillion in new spending. The head coach of the Portland Trailblazers and a player for the Miami Heat have been arrested along with more than 30 other people in 2 criminal cases alleging sprawling schemes to rake in millions by rigging sports bets and poker games involving the mafia. FBI Director Kash Patel.
Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra.
And we get an update on the efforts to keep the peace in the Middle East from the BBC's Yolanda Nell.
As Washington tries to shore up the fragile Gaza ceasefire, the top U.S. diplomat will be arriving in Israel hot on the heels of the Vice President J.D. Vance and 2 special envoys. In an apparent attempt to embarrass the Prime Minister during their visits, on Wednesday, far-right politicians in the Israeli parliament took the symbolic step of giving preliminary approval to a bill that would give Israel authority to annex the West Bank.
That is the BBC's Yolanda Nell reporting. At the close on Wall Street, the Dow was up 144 points. More from townhall.com.
If you have an IRA or 401k, this is a message you really need to hear. In just the last 2 years, the price of 1 troy ounce of silver has more than doubled, up over 100%, and silver is now poised for major gains in the months ahead. Call Advantage Gold at 800-741-GOLD to learn how to convert a portion of your retirement assets into physical silver and position yourself for the next wave of growth in precious metals. It's not too late to leverage the power of silver to help secure your financial future. With the devaluation of the U.S. dollar and volatility in the stock market, silver continues to be a safe haven asset that investors trust. When you call 800-741-GOLD, you'll get your free precious metals rollover guide, plus a copy of former IMF Chairman Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. The time is now to consider adding silver into the mix to protect your retirement. Call Advantage Gold at 800-741-4653. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-741-GOLD.
From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. Another chilly night, mostly clear to low 41 degrees. Some patchy frost again, a possibility, especially in outlying areas outside the urban city. And then the clouds move in, high of 61 for a cool, cloudy day. Slight chance for a shower in the late afternoon to evening, maybe more like a sprinkle as it fights some dry air, but still a chance. Might want to have the umbrella handy just in case for Friday evening plans. I think rain chances are pretty low, though, about 20%. And then cloudy skies on Saturday, 63 for the high. A lot of dry time, slight chance for some rain, especially in the evening to nighttime. Sunday looks like the better chance for some scattered showers with a high of 61. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton.
This hour of News Talk STL brought to you by Chris Cooper and Serenity Wealth Management. Discover little-known strategies that could be the difference between choosing the care you deserve or having someone else decide it for you. Get a free copy of Chris's book at serenityltc.com.
Fox News Commentary with Guy Benson, next.
Hey, Doc, nice office. Quick question. If you had to choose, would you give yourself a root canal or run payroll?
Run payroll, no question.
Seriously? Have you run payroll before?
Paying my team with Gusto couldn't be easier. Gusto gives me unlimited payroll runs, next day direct deposits, and automatically files my taxes. Saves me time.
Wow, that's nice.
Over here, Doc. I want payroll too.
Choose payroll without the pain. Visit gusto.com/radio to sign up for free.
Here's Guy Benson.
Karine Jean-Pierre is trying to sell the American people a book in which she says that she saw no decline in Joe Biden or no serious decline. She's like, oh, look, he was getting a little older. Fine. This is the lie that they told us that whole time until they had to pull the plug. But the obvious cognitive decline of Joe Biden is something she did not witness or notice until the opening sentences of the debate performance in June of 2024 that sealed his fate. Are you kidding me? I mean, who does she think she's fooling? No one believes this. She doesn't believe it. The public doesn't believe it. Either she was like blind, deaf, and dumb. No eyes, no ears, right? Sort of like all the emojis, was not noticing anything around her, or she is simply once again not telling the truth about this.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
Free speech is alive and well in America.
Thanks for taking my call.
Right here.
You know what's going on?
Have a great awakening.
You see through the smoke screen.
It's cool to be woke. News Talk STL.
Until it's not.
News, analysis, opinion.
Girl, you really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I guess
Welcome back to Colombo Company on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL. Lots of great stuff in that 2 o'clock hour with Dr. Randy Tobler and Missouri State Representative Justin Sparks. Here in the 3 o'clock hour, just a few minutes from now, about 15 minutes from now, we will be joined in studio by my co-hosts on the weekend, the guys from the Bluff City Outdoors show, which you can hear every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. here on News Talk STL. They will be joining me live in studio and on the line with us right now on her new day, Virginia Kruta from the Daily Wire, switching from Mondays to Thursdays, and is on the line with us now. Virginia, thank you, as always, for your time on Thursdays now instead of Mondays. How are you?
Yeah, and this week you get a twofer, huh?
Exactly. And on the transition week, we get double, which I love. So really appreciate all of your help as always. Multiple things I wanted to talk to you about, but I wanted to start with the latest and the back and forth and the trolling regarding Trump's ballroom. I mentioned this earlier. I know you have an article up at thedailywire.com right now about that. I've got a story that I want to talk about and get your thoughts on. But I mentioned this earlier when I said that, this was going to be something that we talked about on the show today, that a White House renovation project should have been like a 1 day, 5 minute story that, it's news. It's something that is, that the American people would want to hear about and be interested in, but it should not be a controversial debate with name calling and just like feigned emotion all tied into this. But this is where we are today, that the Trump derangement syndrome runs so deep that just the announcement of I'm going to build a ballroom at the White House has caused the left to absolutely freak out. Would you agree with that assessment, that this should not be this should not be the news that it has become all week long?
No, granted, this does go both ways because Michelle Obama made changes that everybody complained about, and but it didn't get this kind of publicity, right? So, but what's really funny is that first you get them complaining, oh, he's costing us money and he's going to build this giant ballroom, et cetera, right?
Yep.
Well, then they say, oh, by the way, he's not using taxpayer funds, you idiot.
Totally privately
like,
funded. Yep.
Well, and then they're like, well, that's even worse because now people will think that if they donated money to the ballroom, then they'll get policy input and this, that. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
None of this makes any sense. Like, okay, so yeah, that was on The View over the past 3 days. They've had like a long, like an extended meltdown over this. And it's not your house, it's our house. And then Hillary Clinton, who like moved out the White House furniture and took it to her house.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that. Like,
It's like
oh my
filling
God,
her
down, lady.
purse with silverware out of the kitchen on her way out the door. And she's going to talk about the sanctity and the sacred ground of the White House. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then today, in a very Trump way, in a very, very Trump way of doing things, they've made an update to the White House website, which includes a official timeline of the White House's history. And it includes things like other renovations, like like the building of the White House, and then like the first times that it was had additions added to it, and then other renovations that have happened.
Cocaine in the White House.
Exactly. And now the timeline also highlights things like, and this is I'm reading this directly from the White House website. 2000, the timeline's like in like yearly increments.
Yeah.
2023, cocaine discovered.
Right.
And the little brief, like it goes on, but like the first part of it says, quote, during Biden's administration, a U.S. Secret Service agent discovered a small zippered plastic bag containing cocaine in the West Wing entrance lobby. Speculation has pointed to Hunter Biden, an admitted drug user. But another part, 1998.
That's great.
Yeah, 1998, the Bill Clinton scandal.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reads, quote, President Bill Clinton's affair with intern Monica Lewinsky was exposed, leading to White House perjury investigations. The Oval Office trysts fueled impeachment for obstruction. I mean, like they are just hitting back at like they're, like this is so clearly a response, in my opinion, at least, so clearly a response to this feigned emotion and about the sanctity of the White House and the sacred grounds, and like, okay, well, like you mentioned, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were stealing, were taking furniture out of the building when they left, and Bill's doing his thing in the Oval Office with an intern, and Joe Biden, Hunter Biden's walking around with cocaine. Like, give me a break with your emotions.
Speaking of give me a break, I know that you and some of the others at the station have kind of a love-hate relationship with Josh Hawley.
There's many things that I love that Hawley does. Sometimes he makes me a little crazy. Yes, I agree.
Well, yeah, you'll like this one. So this was he was stopped by CNN's congressional reporter Manu Raju, and Raju asked him about how well, this is an iconic building, and blah blah blah, what everybody else is saying, right? Towing the party line, because why not, right? CNN.
Mm-hmm.
And the Holly's response is perfect. He's like, the people who are mad about this, who are calling this an iconic building, these are the same people who couldn't tear down enough statues over the last 4 years.
Yeah.
George Washington,
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson,
yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt, take your pick. I mean, there were some that were even going to take down Ulysses S. Grant. Now, Ulysses S. Grant, the context of that one is perfect because he owned one slave ever. It was not by choice. His father-in-law gifted him the slave as part of his, I guess, a dowry of sorts, like when he got married. And he spent 2 years going through the legal, jumping through the legal hoops to get the guy freed. And in the meantime, was like working alongside him in the field and treating him as a friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, they want his
statue
torn down. Like,
yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you people? Anyway, he's like, suddenly they care about history, and they were ready to tear down all the statues like 3 weeks ago. Almost.
Right? Yeah. No,
Like,
it's so fake.
This is not.
Go ahead.
Yes. Well, it's the same. It's the same with the shutdown, the performative nature of it. This idea that we actually care about the people who aren't getting paychecks. No, you don't. You were 100% behind President Obama, like roping off the World War II memorial back in 2013. They're not serious people.
No,
they're just not. And I mean, I gotta wonder. Somebody posted this earlier today, and I'm like, it's got to be exhausting to be a liberal in a Trump world, because you get up and you have to watch the news and find out, all right, why am I pissed off today?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, at least with Biden, we were like, okay, yeah, he still hasn't done anything with the border. He's still wrong about everything when it comes to foreign policy.
We haven't seen him in 3.5 weeks.
Say 3 words today.
Right. We haven't seen him in 2.5 weeks. So who knows even if he's awake today or not.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But,
no.
Like, it's just this constant performative outrage is like, I cannot imagine how much work that is.
And it's not even exaggeration what you just said about like waking up in the morning and saying, okay, who am I supposed to be mad at today? I'll never forget when we were covering the some of the anti-Israel protests on various college campuses, and there was an interview done with college students, these 2 college students at one of these protests, where the reporter asks, like, why, like, what are you here? What specifically are you protesting? What are you what is your message? And she looks at her friend next to her and says, like, why are we here? What is this one? Why are we here? Yeah. Why are we here? She said, well, we just woke up, we were just in our dorm earlier today, and somebody said, hey, they need more people down here at this protest. So we just, we said, okay, we'll come help. Like, literally don't even know.
Some of them weren't even from that school. Like, they came over from another campus.
Right. Like, yeah, it really truly is like, wake up in the morning and, go to my whatever source on social media or MSNBC or whatever it is. And so like somebody else can tell me what I'm mad about
lick
today.
My finger and see what way the wind's blowing.
It really is that crazy. And speaking of not serious people,
oh my gosh,
Representative Jasmine Crockett weighs Senate bid after redistricting threatens her House seat. This story is.
Wait, who's she going to run it against?
It would be Cronin, not Ted Cruz. So isn't it? It's John Cornyn is the other one. Yeah. Right. So this is wild to me. So this happened yesterday.
Well,
go ahead.
She couldn't. I'm just thinking that I'm just imagining the debate between Jasmine Crockett and Ted Cruz.
Oh, I know. That would be. That would be gold.
I'm really kind of sad that she's not.
No kidding. That would be gold. Him. But yeah, it's John Cornyn's seat that is up next year. He's already said that he's going to be running for re-election. I mentioned earlier there hasn't been a Democrat in the Senate out of Texas in over 30 years, and I don't think that Jasmine Crockett is the one that's going to break that streak. But she said yesterday that she would, quote, strongly consider a run for the U.S. Senate. She was on some show on Sirius XM.
Right.
And she said that recent polling suggests that she would be a top contender in the Texas Democratic primary. During the interview.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, right.
That makes sense, though.
Keyword there, primary.
Primary.
Yeah, keyword there, primary. Crockett said she had no idea where she might run if she runs for Congress again because of the redistricting that has done there, noting that she and her team are waiting for the court to issue a final ruling on whether the new district lines will go into effect. If the lines change, she said.
Keep in mind the standard for winning a Democratic primary in Texas is Beto.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Great point. She said that
So you're right. She would be a top contender in the Democratic primary.
Right. She said if the lines change, she will be moved to another district. And she said, quote, the other option is every other day there's a poll that comes out that makes it clear that I can win the primary for U.S. Senate in Texas. And I'm looking at that because if you want to take away my seat of 766,000 away, I feel like there has to be some karma in there if I take your seat of up to 30 million people away. She goes on to address the issue about like, that's the primary. We're talking about the general election. Again, no Democrat in over 30 years has held a Senate seat out of Texas. Cornyn and Ted Cruz both have, won in landslides, including the one over Beto for Ted, a few years ago. But she said she addressed that, saying that, the polls would indicate that I'd have no chance, but I don't put much stock in traditional polling. She said that that those aren't accurate.
Wait a second. The polls indicate that she'd win the primary. But
Those are accurate, right?
She'd lose that.
Right. She said the poll, those polls are not true. The ones that say that, because she said that she knows how to capture the vote of the young people that aren't represented in those, and that she basically has her own math and her own strategy to win. I think we lost Virginia. I think she's calling us right back there. Yeah, we'll get her back on the line here. Talking to Virginia Kruta from the Daily Wire. Some shenanigans there have cut our conversation off. Getting Virginia back on the line right now. Do we have her? Yep. Pushing some buttons. There we go. So yeah, sorry about that, Virginia. Don't know what happened there.
It's okay.
But you got it there. She says, she's got her own new math. She's got her own math and her own polling that's just in her mind that says that she could win the general election there in Texas. I mean, the delusion. I mean, I hope she does it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to watch that happen. But I don't buy the new math that she has in her mind that says that she would win. But the delusion runs strong with her, and I think that that's not the end of Jasmine Crockett. I think we'll see that play out. Maybe her and AOC will both be running for Senate at the same time. That would give us lots.
Well, here's what my prediction is, that she either gets smart and sees the writing on the wall and goes straight to MSNBC, or what is it, MS Now?
Yeah, whatever it is now. Yeah.
Whatever. Goes straight for the media deal.
Mm-hmm.
Or she runs this one all the way into the ground and then says that Texas didn't elect her because they're all a bunch of sexists.
There you go. Yep. I mean, literally, we could see. Can
That's
you imagine?
Why they're saying that Spanberger's having trouble and Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
They're like, oh no, it's all sexism. Like, no, she hitched her wagon to Jay Jones and he's
having
some issues.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, can you imagine? I mean, we could be in a future, like in the coming years, we could see AOC running for Senate. We could see Jasmine Crockett running for Senate, and we could see Kamala Harris trying to make another bid at the White House. I mean, it's just amazing that these people still have, strong political careers in 2025. When like you said earlier, they're just not serious people, but they're still going strong somehow. Just amazing. Virginia Kruta from the Daily Wire.
Gas lights are the only lights on.
Yeah, exactly. Virginia, thank you for a little double time this week, and looking forward to our new day, talking to you every Thursday. Of course, always in the meantime, check out Virginia's articles every day at thedailywire.com. And we will talk to you again soon, my friend. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
You too.
Great stuff there from Virginia Kruta from the Daily Wire. Before we get the guys from Bluff City Outdoors in here, I wanted to make one quick, report on one quick local story. This is really sad and tragic. I know Mike Ferguson in the morning, these guys talked about this earlier this morning. Illinois Republican politician Darren Bailey's son, daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren were killed in a Montana helicopter crash. A post was made on X by Darren Bailey and his family after they received the news that their son Zachary, his wife Kelsey, and their 2 young children lost their lives in a helicopter crash yesterday in Montana. Darren Bailey is somebody that I've talked to on this show. If you remember, he ran for governor in Illinois against J.B. Pritzker in 2022. He's announced that he is running again next year in 2026 against Governor Pritzker. It's still unknown what caused the helicopter crash at this time. But having that those personal conversations with Darren Bailey in the past and him being somebody, obviously, especially for all of you listening in Illinois that are familiar with Darren and maybe even voted for him in the past. I wanted to at least report this news and, send out our thoughts and prayers to the Bailey family. This is a tragedy that has struck them, and praying for their strength as they deal with this terrible, terrible tragedy. All right. I don't even know where you go from a story like that. So we will just take a quick break and we will be back. We are going to be joined by my co-hosts from the Bluff City Outdoors Show. They will be live in studio with us next here on Colombo Company.
Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't see my mind. You really got me.
St. Louis's place to talk.
Freedom of speech is one of the anchors of our society.
News Talk STL.
Are you searching for an excellent new vehicle or a great deal on a used one? Then check out Tyler Trineri, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Tim Jones here to tell you what loyal Tyler Trineri customers already know. Every new vehicle and select used ones come with an exclusive lifetime warranty. And Tyler Trineri has a service department second to none. I should know. I've been a loyal and happy customer for years. For the best price, selection, and the amazing lifetime warranty, check out Tyler Trineri today, right off Interstate 44 in beautiful Pacific, Missouri. Online at tylertrineri.com, tylertrineri.com.
This is Larry Connor's commentary on News Talk STL.
Hillary Clinton insists President Trump is destroying the White House. Literally. Yes, bulldozers, other demolition equipment, changing the look of the White House. And Hillary says, it's not his house, it's your house. Well, let's put the Hillary squeals aside. What is happening and why? The East Wing, which is actually apart from the White House itself, is being demolished to build a giant ballroom. Trump says for more than 150 years, every president wanted a ballroom to handle grand parties. And this will not cost the American taxpayer. It will cost $200 to $250 million, but Trump is lining up Americans who want to help pay for it. Here comes the other complaint. Well, those writing checks will expect something in return. It should be done just before the end of Trump's second term. So even if he planned to reward any contributors, he won't have a lot of time, not on his watch. And a couple of added notes. The White House has been untouched since President Truman. And also, are you listening? Are you listening? Trump had offered to build such a ballroom and pay for it during the Obama administration, but it got rejected.
Get more Larry Connors on Larry Connors USA.
Tonight at 6 on News Talk STL.
I want to tell you more about Wellington Environmental's dustless blasting services. Wellington can blast paint, grease, graffiti, even stripes off parking lots. Truly amazing and powerful. But can Wellington blast something more sensitive? Yes, Wellington can use dry ice to blast soot and odors off smoke-damaged surfaces right after a fire. Currently, Wellington uses dry ice to clean mold off wood inside a home. Why? Well, dry ice immediately disappears, turns into a vapor. That means no mess to clean up, no damaged surfaces. You need to check with Wellington, always researching and practicing with new, better, faster, safer equipment and products for you. and it's very easy to schedule an estimator for your next project. Call Cindy, 314-644-4930, 644-4930. Be well with Wellington.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
Hey guys, Jefferson County Councilman Billy Crow here from Jeffco Patriot Radio. On behalf of Tim Jones and I just want to thank you for making Jeffco Patriot Radio the #1 listened to show on Sundays here on News Talk STL, where we dive into all the things happening in and around Jefferson County. Check Tim Jones and I out on Jeffco Patriot Radio this and every Sunday at high noon here on 1019, 94.1 News Talk STL.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
Dr. Draghi and his team at Esquire Sports Medicine get pros back on the field so they can certainly help you. You need an MRI, X-ray, CAT scan, pre- or post-surgery treatment, rehab. The chiropractic physicians at Esquire can help you or connect you to experts you need. And I know you're hurting right now. You don't want to wait. Esquire sees new patients often within 24 hours. EsquireSportsMedicine.com.
On the next Larry Connors USA.
Trump says there's no reason to meet with Putin at this point because if nothing is going to be accomplished, it'd be a waste of time.
Larry Connors USA. Now weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Wherever you are, I believe that the heart
Man,
goes.
just got serious in here. Just got heavy.
Yeah.
It's got emotional.
She never disappoints.
Welcome back to Colombo and Company on 1019, 94.1 News Talk STL. I'm Tony Colombo here in studio with producer Ashlyn, and now also live in studio with us, my co-host from the Bluff City Outdoor Show, which you can hear every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. here on News Talk STL. Local professional fisherman Mike Marfell.
Yo, good to see you, Tony.
And the owner of Bluff City Outdoors, Mark McMurray.
Hey, it's good to be back.
Yeah, great to see you guys. And it's a kind of it's a whole different world out there than last week. And it's finally
fall like.
Took till like the
It's almost sock
the
cap weather,
last
Tony.
10 days of October, but it finally feels like fall out there.
It does.
And we'll talk a lot about this on the show this week, how this weather change could impact the guys out there hunting, and especially Mike, the guys out there fishing. But the cooler temps could really be the beginning to some really great fishing for the next.
It's about your time,
several
buddy.
weeks,
It's
yeah.
top water time. It's
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Are you hearing that same thing from the
absolutely
customers of the shop?
Yep. And it's even reflected in this week's fishing report.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We talk about this all the time on the show. You know, I've said this so many times. If you go through my camera roll on my phone, and you know, if you stop on the biggest fish pics that I have, I almost always have on a hoodie or a sock hat. It's because
there's no leaves on the tree.
Yeah, it just always seems like you know the biggest you get the biggest fish this time of year. So
the big start eating.
Yeah,
they know when winter's coming.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting stuff. And we'll bring you all that information in the fishing report this week. Do we know? We'll find out. We'll talk to Steve Templeton from Channel 4 tomorrow. Get the weekend forecast and talk to him about at least the weather in the short term. But do we know if this is supposed to hold? Because if it does, if we're there consistently now, this could be a really good thing.
I looked at it 15 days out, and there's some days where it's highs that are in the upper 50s.
But the keys, the nights are in the 40s.
Nights are in the 40s.
That's what'll get her down. And the days, if you haven't noticed, it's dark when I leave for work and dark when I come home generally.
Yeah.
So the big orb doesn't have the time to heat the water back up like it did through the summer. So
the one thing that I am dreading is the time change.
I hate it.
And you wake up, it's dark.
When I'm supreme leader, we're gonna knock it back a half hour and leave it there.
Oh, I've never heard that one before.
Yep.
Supreme leader.
I've never heard that either. If you were running for king, I'd vote for
All
you.
right.
But I've never heard this split the difference before.
Yeah.
I've always said, we just need to go full-time daylight savings. daylight savings already has been expanded so much that it's more of the year than standard time. So standard time is not standard. It's the minority at this point. So let's just leave the daylight savings in. I get depressed when it gets dark at 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
When
Let
it's
alone
dark
5
at
o'clock.
4:45 and it's already
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you always
exactly.
see the Halloween trick-or-treaters in a down coat in the
Yeah.
dark
Yeah.
at like 3 in the afternoon.
People
Yeah.
say, what about the kids at the bus stop? I got 2 of them that are still, going to the bus stop in the morning, and screw the kids at the bus stop.
Yeah.
I want it to be light when I leave work, for goodness sake.
It's gloomy enough most of the time in the winter. So
Yeah, but I've never heard the split.
Yeah,
the difference.
That's not a bad idea.
I kind of like that. That almost sounds like one of your solutions.
Mark's rubbing off on me.
No kidding.
His smarts are rubbing this way.
So just cut it in half and leave it that way for the whole year?
Forever.
Can you do that with the clocks and the 30 minutes? And I don't know. There's a way to do that.
If everybody does it, all the time zones.
I
told you I was supreme leader. I didn't say local.
I think I'm for it. I think I like it. I think I like that idea.
I think it's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Don't get to talk a whole lot of politics on the Bluff City Outdoors show, but that's why I love it when these guys come in to talk about some news stories through the week. This one, here's a story that I think is actually a positive, common sense.
What?
Yeah. And it's coming from the Olympic Committee, which even more is like, whoa, what is happening? Listen to this. The IOC suggests no major sports competitions in Indonesia after that country just barred Israeli gymnasts from championships. The International Olympic Committee is recommending that no international sporting events should be held in the future in Indonesia after that country recently barred the Israeli national gymnastics team from the World Championships, which is being held in Jakarta over in Indonesia. Additionally, the IOC is ending any discussions with Indonesia about hosting a future Olympic Games. Quote, these actions deprive athletes of their right to compete peacefully and prevent the Olympic movement from showing the power of sport, the IOC said in a statement. Mark,
that is surprising.
I don't know how to react.
I mean,
I don't know how to react to common sense.
Maybe sanity is spreading.
Yeah. I mean, Mike,
I'm trying to think of what the alternative motive is here, because I can't. I'm just stunned.
I mean, like the Olympics, they let a boy compete in boxing at the last Summer Games. We've had the joke of like the breakdancing, right. Events and things like that. So I'm like you. I'm just ready to have a beef when I see the IOC is in the headlines. But and this all comes after the Indonesian government declared earlier this month that Israeli athletes would be denied visas to participate in the World Championship.
Did they give a reason?
Which started on October 19th. They did not.
I think I know.
I think I know too.
I could take a guess, but we won't do that because we don't want Jeff Allen to freak out.
Yeah, but no, I just think that is fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
It's great news.
Here's a little fun one.
All right.
Crayola has made the announcement of what is the world's favorite crayon color. Anybody want to take a guess at what the world's favorite crayon color is, according to Crayola?
The Supreme Leader would make it blue, but I don't know.
I would have thought either blue or green. Probably red though.
Can you say this word for me? Here it's spelled.
Oh, it's a made up color.
Cerulean. Cerulean? Cerulean?
I get
that's not a color.
That's the most popular color in the world.
What color is it?
It's the shade. It's described in this story as the shade of Anne Hathaway's blue sweater, and the scene where Meryl Streep shames her in the movie The Devil Wears Prada. That help you at all? Because it doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
I'm straight, Tony, so I'm lost.
Does it help you at all? So is it blue?
Bluish.
Blue? Ashley, jump on the microphone there. So is it like, so obviously, I mean, it says blue sweater. Is it like traditional blue? Is it dark blue? Is it light blue? Is it
darker blue? But let me double check.
Yeah. Cerulean.
So I'm going to say they had to interview adults.
Exactly.
They didn't get this from kids.
Mark, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like when you think of crayons, my son has really gotten into drawing. He's like making his own comic books and stuff. Like he's really gotten into it. So we've had a lot of crayons and a lot of markers and stuff out recently. I've never heard him say the word cerulean.
Yeah, and you never will.
And kids are the ones that are using crayon, I would guess, the most. So
that color must be in the
I'm not buying
512 pack.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lighter blue. It's think baby blue.
I would think
kind of
powder blue, maybe
Yeah.
royal blue. That's not royal.
Sky blue.
Yeah, sky blue.
But you know what?
It almost looks like the color of the Royals jersey, right? Maybe?
Why don't we call it?
Or the old Cardinals jerseys.
The baby blues.
Yeah, the baby blues.
Why don't we call it baby blue?
Baby blue.
Or light blue. Or sky blue. Not cerulean.
There's an architect or something involved in this.
No first grader filled out their survey and said, my favorite color is cerulean.
No, they didn't.
But that's what they said. That's according to Crayola. Also, here's another crazy stat. According to another new survey, 61% of Americans say that grilled cheese is their favorite sandwich. I'm buying that. But the same survey says 75% of Americans don't feel confident that they are good at making a grilled cheese sandwich. And also that 75% of people, 75% of people say that they're no good. They can't make a good grilled cheese sandwich.
That seems impossible.
It just can't be the case.
It can't be.
Because I don't even know what a bad grilled cheese sandwich is, but even if you, I don't know.
Yeah, how do you mess it up?
Yeah, if you leave it on a little too long, leave it on a little too, it's still grilled cheese sandwich. Yeah, it's still good. 75%.
Those are the same people that are bad at boiling eggs.
Or making toast. Exactly.
Now, we'll say on sandwiches, out of town on one of my trapping things, we had a great sandwich. It was a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich with, instead of regular tomatoes, fried green tomatoes. That was an awesome sandwich.
Yeah,
let's go.
That is good.
It's
funny.
Good.
We just had grilled cheese. Now I will say there are people better making it than others.
Yeah, sure.
My son made the declaration just this past week, ironically, at home after his big sister made his grilled cheese sandwich. He said, "Dad makes a better one." So,
yeah. I used to say
can't make them better, but you can't make them bad.
I used to say that my daughter makes the greatest grilled cheese, so then she'd always want to make Dad a grilled cheese.
There you go.
That's the move.
Great stuff there. That is Mike Marfell, local professional fisherman, and Mark McMurray from Bluff City Outdoors. The Bluff City Outdoors show every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. here on News Talk STL. Please join us this and every Saturday for that great show. And, of course, all of your outdoor needs. If you're going bow hunting, if you're going fishing, if you're going to be trapping, if you're going to be enjoying the great outdoors in any way, they have got you covered.
Or you need a new Garmin, Tony. We always forget that.
There you go. That's right. I would call that in your fishing needs.
Yes.
I would put that in
yeah, you're right. It's a blanket.
They got you covered at Bluff City Outdoors, open 7 days a week in Alton, Illinois, about a mile east of Fast Eddie's there on East Broadway. Check them out on Facebook and at bluffcityoutdoors.com. All right, that is going to do it for us today. Colombo Company back tomorrow at 2. In the meantime, keep it here for the O'Reilly Report next, then the Tim Jones and Chris Arp Show.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Their Provia windows combine old world craftsmanship the professional way, the Provia way, with over 65 years of combined experience, locally owned, offering competitive pricing and personalized service that the big box companies can't match. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
As you know, Vincent's is not just my favorite jeweler. Vincent's is my only jeweler. And I was in recently looking at lab-grown diamonds. These are not glass. They are actual diamonds, but they cost a fraction of a natural diamond. You can check them out at Vincents.com, or better yet, see these lab-grown diamonds in person. You're going to be amazed at the beauty and the price. Vincent's Jewelers, VincentsJewelers.com.
Hey, it's Jamie Allman here for The Barn in beautiful Columbia, Illinois, offering a unique experience with an upscale feel that's sure to make your visit unforgettable. More than 100 different bourbons, 30 vodkas, plus an expansive outdoor patio, upstairs banquet facility, seating up to 50. You can reserve that. Call for rates. Live music every Friday and Saturday. Last Queen Standing. And extreme bar bingo every Thursday, plus Tequila Tuesdays. I'm heading over there right now. The Barn, right there in gorgeous Columbia, Illinois.
Need promotional products or apparel for your business? Look no further than Blue Sky Promotions. This woman-owned, locally operated company in Bridgeton specializes in anything and everything promotional. From branded apparel and uniforms to custom giveaways and marketing materials, Blue Sky Promotions has you covered. Whether you're looking to stand out at a trade show, build brand awareness, or reward your employees, Blue Sky Promotions has the solutions you need. Visit BlueSkyPromotions.com or call 314-739-3531.
Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. Here's what's happening today in America. White House destruction, shutdown, suffering, a new map in North Carolina, and the first in the Pacific. That's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, very funny how many Democrats are upset at Trump's ballroom addition to the White House. Construction crews tearing down a very small portion of the White House, and the folks at Morning Joe calling it disgusting and painful. The White House said the East Wing is being modernized from its 1902 and 1942 constructions to support the ballroom project and a new East Wing, which is currently the home to the First Lady's office and the White House military office, among some other cramped offices.